everyone, it's Elizabeth. In this video, I'm going to be swatching and reviewing all 12 of the brand new China Glaze polishes from the Arrangement collection for spring 2019. This is a really interesting collection full of a bunch of shimmers, glitters, creams, and a jelly, so if you're interested in seeing all of these polishes, then just keep on watching. This first shade is called What's Up Buttercup, and this is a gorgeous bronzy metallic. And this is definitely one of the shades that comes to mind when I think of like their unexpected floral collection shades. You definitely would not think of this as a color to be in a spring collection, but I think it's so gorgeous. Look at the shine and shimmer in this polish. Self level's really nice. I really love their wider brush now that they have that. Huge fan. So there's the first coat. And here is the second coat of What's Up Buttercup. And this one covers completely in 2 coats. Has a really nice formula. It's one of those metallics that honestly self levels really nicely, so you don't have to worry about brush strokes a whole lot. It's really gorgeous. I think this is one of those polishes that I would consider ugly pretty, where I think it's kind of ugly in the bottle, but I think it's really gorgeous on the nail. This one is really surprising me. Definitely is that unexpected shade for a spring collection, like I already mentioned, and it really is really gorgeous, and I think it fits well for spring. So there is 2 coats of What's Up Buttercup. This shade is called I Believe, and this is an olive green shimmer. This one is so pretty. It is definitely sheer on that first coat, as you can see, which I think would make it nice for layering on top of other polishes. I think that would be a fun look. I love the really striking gold shimmer in there. Definitely going to look super pretty in the sun once spring finally comes around. Great formula though, it's really even, not a whole lot of streaking happening, just a little bit sheer. So there is the first coat. Here's the second coat. And this one covers really nicely on 2 coats. I really, especially my ring finger that I just painted, I think I could definitely get away with 2 coats on this one. You might want to do 3, just depending on what your preference is, but honestly I don't see any of my nail shining through, so I am going to say that this one is opaque in 2 coats. But like I said, you might need 3, but this one is so pretty. Look at that shimmer. So there is 2 coats of I Believe. This is the shade that I think I am the most excited to swatch. This one's called Show 'Em Who's Blossom. This is a gorgeous jade green. This one is a tad bit sheer and streaky on the first coat. However, it is a really nice cream formula. It's going on the nail really easily, and it's not really moving all over the place. So I think this one might need 3 coats, but we'll see after 2. But there is the first coat, and I love colors like this, especially for spring. Here is the second coat, and this one builds up really nicely in 2 coats. I do see a little bit of a streak on my ring finger, so I might do 3. However, I think that was just me using too many strokes with the brush, but we will see. On my middle finger I am doing a little bit of a thinner coat, and I do still see a few streaks. Now honestly, if I were doing this as a manicure, they're not terribly noticeable for me, so I would probably do this one in 2 coats. However, for the sake of swatching purposes, I will do 3 coats just so you can see what it looks like. But this one is such a gorgeous color. I feel like I'm already going to pick this one as my favorite, but I'll swatch the rest just to make sure. Here is the third coat. And like I said, I personally probably wouldn't need 3 coats on this one. Plus, it is such a brand new polish. I did just open it for the first time. So the formula is going to be a little bit more on the thin side, but This is 3 coats. It covers completely, but yeah, like I said, if I was doing this one on myself, like on my own manicure, which I definitely will be doing, I will be using 2 coats, but 3 does make it completely opaque, covers up any of those streaks that may have been showing. And this one's just an absolutely gorgeous color. I am so obsessed with it. I absolutely love it. So there is 3 coats of Show 'em Who's Blossom. This is Ranunculus, and this is a powder blue with some gold shimmer in it. This formula is a little bit more on the creamier side, so I think some of that shimmer is kind of not really being hidden, but it's not quite as like in your face shimmer, which is really nice. It's super subtle. I think it's really gorgeous for spring. I love colors like this, especially I love blues. I love pastel colors for spring. This formula is great. It is a little bit on the sheer side, a tad bit streaky, but overall really easy formula to work with, so no complaints there. So there is the first coat. Here is the second coat. This is Ranunculus. I think 2 coats covers really well, but it's kind of the same situation as Show 'em Who's Blossom, where it is just showing a little bit of streaking. So I will show 3 coats just so you can see what it looks like, but personally, when I will do this one as a full manicure, I probably will just do 2 coats, but that's just me. And again, it is such a brand new formula that it is running on the thin side, but yeah, no complaints. So there is 2 coats of This is Ranunculus, and I will show a third. And here is the third coat. And this one is definitely completely opaque in 3 coats. I love that subtle gold shimmer in there. I think this one is so gorgeous. It kind of reminds me of like the rainstorms in spring. I love this one, especially also I think it'd be really pretty for Easter. Definitely do some Easter nail art, and I'm gonna do a video with all of these polishes, some nail art inspiration and ideas for you. So if you have any ideas or requests for nail art using these polishes, let me know in the comments before I make that video. But there is 3 coats of This is Ranunculus. So the second I saw This is Ranunculus in the box that I got them in, I immediately thought it was way too similar to Zoya Amira. And I mean, if you look at them in the bottle, they are completely identical. They look so super similar. So I did want to show you what they look side by side on the nail. So on my pointer finger right here, this is Zoya Amira, and then this is Ranunculus from China Glaze. And for looking so similar in the bottle, there are a lot of differences. One, I think the Zoya one, the base is a little bit darker and it definitely has more of the shimmer coming through. And then this one, swatching, as you guys saw, was a little bit more of like a creamier formula. The shimmer is not as prominent and it is a little bit lighter. That being said though, if you do already have Zoya Amira, I would say you probably don't need This is Ranunculus because they are so similar in shade, but I mean, you do you. I am glad I have both because I think they are really pretty colors for spring, but they are very similar. This is Hydrangea Dangea, and this is a gorgeous sky blue with some silver shimmer in there. This one is a little bit on the sheer and streaky side, but just like these other ones that I've been experiencing, or that I've been swatching, been experiencing the sheer and streakiness, but it does seem to be covering nicely into 3 coats, which isn't bad because also this formula is drying really fast, which I love because I hate waiting around for my nails to dry. So here's the first coat. So here is the second coat of Hydrangea Dangea, and this one is covering really nicely in 2 coats. Again, this is one that when I will put this one on my nails, I would probably only use 2 coats, but because I can still see a couple of streaks, I will show you 3, just so you can see what it looks like, but it's totally your own preference. It depends on how thin or thick your coats are, things like that. But yeah, this one is really, really pretty. I love the color, especially for spring. It almost reminds me of like a Cinderella blue. So really, really pretty. So here is the third coat. And this one definitely is completely opaque in 3. And I love how that shimmer is really subtle in there, but you can still really see it. It's just a really unique polish, I think. I was going through my collection, and I don't have my complete collection like out and visible, but I can't think of any polishes that are similar to this one. It's just honestly so pretty. I know I keep repeating myself, but I love spring polishes because it makes me think of the nice warm weather that will be coming soon, especially after this crazy winter we've had. So there is 3 coats of Hydrangea Dangea. This polish is called Saved by the Bluebell, which I love that name because I just got started into this show, Heart of Dixie, and that is the name of the town they live in, Bluebell. I love that show, so love the name of this one. It is a darker, almost a navy blue cream polish. This one has a nice even formula, but it definitely, as you can see, is pretty sheer, which is a little frustrating, but we'll see how it looks with 2 to 3 coats. It's still a really pretty color. Just wish it was a little bit more of like a creamier shade, but since it is more of like a jelly-like polish, you could probably do a jelly sandwich manicure or play around with this one for different nail art techniques. So that's fun for that one, but there is the first coat. Here's the second coat of Saved by the Bluebell. And this one, for being super sheer on that first coat, does cover really, really nicely in 2. I would say basically completely opaque, however, I can still see a few streaks, so I will do a third just so you can see what it looks like, to see if it gets any darker or anything like that. But overall, I am really impressed with the opacity considering how sheer that first coat was. So there is 2 coats. So here is the third coat of Saved by the Bluebell. And it does get a little bit darker on the third coat, and it is completely opaque with 3 coats. This one you'll definitely want to work with in thin coats so it can build up nicely, but it also dries super fast, so if you do thinner coats, they will dry faster, and then you can do more coats quickly, or quicker, if that makes any sense. But yeah, this one, really pretty color. I won't say this one's terribly unique. I feel like I do have colors like this in my collection. Again, no colors come to mind just because I don't have my entire collection in front of me right now, but if you can think of any colors that are similar, feel free to let me know, and then everyone can check the comments so we can all kind of support each other, let each other know what other polishes are similar so we don't have to go out and buy exact duplicates of everything. But I really like this one, so there is 3 coats. This is Wildflower Hour, and this is a translucent purple with silver holographic glitter. This one is so pretty. I think the translucent purple base makes those silver holographic glitters look not silver. I mean, some of them look silver, but it just gives them a different kind of cast, I guess, which is so pretty and really, really, really unique. I don't have anything in my collection quite like this. Since this one is pretty translucent, you could totally use this one as a top coat over another color, or if you wanted to build this one up completely, you would want to do the sponging technique, but I will show probably 3 coats of this just so you can see what it looks like on its own. Here's the second coat. One thing I'm noticing about this polish is that those glitters aren't really difficult to place, like you don't have to move your brush around a whole lot. They do seem to be very evenly mixed throughout the polish. And this one is building up quite nicely to the fact where I would even wear this one on its own for like a, I guess, a natural sparkle look, which is really cool. But yeah, this one is super pretty on its own, but definitely it'd be cool over another polish, especially white or black or even like a purple color. Honestly, any color you wanted to, but also, like I already mentioned, sponging it would definitely give it a really cool look as well. Finally, here is 3 coats of Wildflower Hour. And it's honestly just so gorgeous. You guys know I love anything holographic, but I just really love how that translucent base is making those glitters look. And the glitters are almost like a flaky consistency, where they're not all uniform in shape, which I think also makes this one a really unique polish, similar to something indie brands would do. So I really love this one. There is 3 coats. This is Lavenduh, and this is a lavender cream polish. This one has a little bit of a thinner formula, again common in brand new polishes, and seems to be the theme kind of running in this collection. However, it will be completely opaque in 2 to 3 coats, so not a concern, especially when the polish dries so fast. So there's the first coat. Here's the second coat of Lavenduh, and it does seem to cover completely in 2 coats, but I see a little bit of the streak on my ring finger. I feel like, again, I know I keep repeating myself, when I would do this one on my nails as a full manicure, I would do 2 coats, but depending on your preference, you might want to do 3, and I will show 3 coats just so you can see. But really nice formula, and I really love this wider brush. It is so much easier to work with. So there is 2 coats. Here is the third coat, and it does cover completely in 3. And as much as I love the wide brush, I love wider brushes, I also am really happy that China Glaze is now 7 free. I think that is a really, really great thing that they've done. To be honest, I didn't even know that they weren't up until this point, which is kind of scary because I do use their polishes a lot. And it does kind of make me concerned for my health, but now that they are 7 free, that does make me really happy, and I think it was a really great thing that they have done now. This one is called There She Rose Again, and this is a bright pink jelly, which I think is really unique for China Glaze. I'm not sure that they've really done a whole lot of jelly polishes. This one has a really amazing formula, super even, gives the nail a nice pinky kind of natural look on the first coat. I will try to build this one up in like 3 coats just so you can see what it looks like built up, but I think this is a really cool idea for this like bright pink jelly. There's a lot of nail art ideas you can do with jellies, so really cool. There's the first coat. Here's the second coat, and this one does build up quite a bit already on that second coat. But yeah, I'm getting a lot of nail art inspiration from this one, so you'll definitely have to check out my channel in the next couple of days / weeks for a nail art video using all of these polishes in this collection. I think it's really fun to do nail art videos using entire collections because then you guys can get some inspiration, and it's really fun for me to film, honestly. So yeah, there is 2 coats. Here's the third coat of There She Rose Again. And again, it does build up to almost being completely opaque with that third coat. And like I said, I have a lot of ideas with this one, but it's so pretty. I think it is really unique for this really bright jelly polish. This one, again, great formula, really easy to work with, and super pretty. This one is Senora Flora, and this is a muted pink satin as described by China Glaze. So I'm assuming this one is going to dry to a bit of a matte or satin finish as implied. Really great coverage. On the first coat I do see there are a few streaks, but overall really nice polish to work with. Especially love the brush. And it is a really pretty springy shade. And it is, I can see on my ring finger, it is starting to dry down to a satin finish, which I think is really cool. So as you can see, this one does dry down completely matte. I love when China Glaze does shades like this. I think it is really unique. If you want this to last super long, you definitely obviously want to use a base coat. Then you could always top it with a matte top coat. If you do not have a matte top coat, just make sure that you use a really nice base coat, and then polish will probably wear off after a while or so, especially the matte finish of it. So you'll just have to reapply a coat or two throughout the week or whenever you're going to wear it. Or you could just take it off once it wears off and put something else on your nails. But yeah, this one is really unique. I honestly don't think I have a pink quite like this in my collection, and especially one that dries down to a matte satin finish. Another thing is, if you really like the shade of this one but you don't want it to be matte, that's totally fine, because you can always top it with a normal shiny top coat. My favorite go-to is Essie Gel Setter. Love that top coat. You could always top it, yeah, with a shiny top coat, and then you'd have this one either matte or shiny. This one is called Good as Marigold, and this is a really neon orange cream. My best friend, her favorite color is orange, so I know she would definitely love this one. For me personally, if I were to wear this one as a full manicure, I would do it in the summer since it is so bright, or I would do nail art with this one. I think this has a lot of potential for nail art. And this one has a really nice formula, a little bit streaky, as you can see, a tad bit on the sheer side, but it'll definitely build up. So there is the first coat. Here is the second coat of Good as Marigold. And honestly, as much as I love this collection, I honestly love all the colors in this collection. The names are just spot on for this collection. I would love to know their process of naming polishes, but they did a really nice job. This one, as you can see, is building up really nicely, but I still do see a few streaks, so I will do a third coat. But this one is really bright and neon on its own, and it doesn't even need a white base underneath it, which is really awesome. And here is the third coat of Good as Marigold. And this one does cover completely in 3 coats. This is another one where I think as the formula ages a little bit in my collection, it will be able to become opaque in 2 coats. But honestly, like I said, this formula dries lightning fast, so you wouldn't have any problems if you needed to do 3 coats, like I did. But this one is so bright, so neon. I think it's really fun for spring, and especially summer. So here's 3 coats of Good as Marigold. Last but not least is Better Late Than Nectar. And this is an iridescent orange polish. As you can see, the formula is really sheer, pretty thin, but you can really see that gorgeous orangey iridescent shimmer that is really unique and will look amazing on top of all kinds of polishes. But I will show you 3 coats of this one just so you can see how it builds up on its own. Here's the second coat, and it really just builds up that shimmer so you can really see it. It's really striking on the nail. This would honestly be fun on its own. It's like a natural nail look, but also your nails are super shimmery. I think it's really fun, and for me, this orangey base kind of blends in with my skin tone, so it just looks super shimmery and really cool. So there's 2 coats, and I will do a third. And here is the third coat. And it just builds that shimmer up really nicely. I love this one. I think it's really unique. I love that multicolored iridescent shimmer. I think it's so pretty, and it's definitely going to look really awesome with some nail art. So definitely check out my Instagram, check out my YouTube channel. Hopefully I'll have that nail art video up within, like I said, the next few days or weeks or so, but I'll definitely have a video for nail art with this whole collection. But I am so impressed with all these shades. I love them so much, especially this one. I think it's so gorgeous. So there is 3 coats. So that is it for my live swatch and review video of the Arrangement collection. I'm honestly really impressed with China Glaze. There's a ton of unique shades in here, a lot of shades that I'm really excited about. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my channel because I am trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of this year. And of course there will be a giveaway. So hopefully I can hit that goal soon. I'd really appreciate it. And let me know in the comments below what shade is your favorite and if you'll be picking up this collection anytime soon. So thank you so much for watching and I will see you in my next one. Bye.